I'm using your yard. We don't have any meat or beer, so can you pick some up? It was when I was out at a grocery store buying ingredients for dinner. Seeing the caller was my son's wife, Lily, sent a chill down my spine. A bad feeling crept in as I answered the phone, only to be met with sudden orders, leaving me astonished.
What's this all of a sudden? Using our yard, what do you mean?
We're having a barbecue. Look, the garden here has roses and stuff, so it's super cute, isn't it? Lily's response only added to my confusion. We don't have roses in our yard.
What? That's not my house, you know. What?
It was then I finally realized Lily had mistaken my house for someone else's. I was dumbfounded. Having a barbecue in someone else's yard by mistake is outrageous.
Anyway, I'm coming home now, so you just wait.
My name is Layla, a 62-year-old housewife. Since my son Ethan married and moved out, I've been living with my husband, Benjamin. Benjamin, a former company employee, retired 5 years ago and now lives a comfortable life as an investor. Though I felt lonely not being able to spend much time with Benjamin during his working days, we've now begun our leisurely life in retirement together. Ethan, 32, married 5 years ago. He met his partner, Lily, at a party. I never imagined the serious Ethan would snag a partner at a party, but finding a marriage partner indeed brought us relief. Meeting Lily for the first time, she struck me as a modest and honest person. Not particularly beautiful, but perhaps one could say she looked like she'd make a good wife. In any case, she had a soft, kind expression. Without much conversation, I congratulated on their marriage. Due to Ethan's job, the two of them ended up living in a downtown apartment, a 40-minute drive from my house. The rent was $3,000, quite high, but that's the city. Despite that, the house didn't seem very spacious, and Lily seemed somewhat dissatisfied. The married couple never once visited my house as a couple. It seems Lily is reluctant to visit my house. I understand there's no need for them to go out of their way to the in-laws' house when Lily's parents' home is closer to theirs. It wasn't much of an issue that they didn't visit my home. The real issue lay elsewhere. There's something about Lily I need to discuss. Layla, you're free now, right? I want some cake from the famous pastry shop. Could you get it for me? When I first received such a call from Lily, I couldn't believe it. Lily is supposed to be a housewife, and it made no sense for her to ask me, who lives 40 minutes away, to do this. The pastry is closer to Lily's home than to mine.
Why? Wouldn't it be faster for you to go yourself?
When I voiced this obvious question, Lily deliberately acted as if she was taken aback.
Oh.
Then, she said,
Layla, I don't have a driver's license. Walking there is such a hassle, isn't it? If you buy it for me, I'll share some with you. Unlike you, we are wealthy.
Still not fully grasping Lily's true character, I was simply dumbfounded by her reasoning. While it might be true that she doesn't have a driver's license, it's questionable for her to ask me to buy something she wants. Moreover, Lily claims to be wealthy, but that money comes from Ethan working hard every day. It's not something for Lily to brag about.
Then, please do. Deliver it within 30 minutes.
Since my relationship with Lily was not close, I couldn't just ignore her. Having no other plans for the day, I decided to comply with Lily's request, thinking we might have coffee together. After buying the specified cake from the pastry shop, I visited Lily's home. Lily, in her sloppy pajamas, snatched the cake from my hands and, while handing me my portion of the cake, "Here." She then tried to close the front door.
Wait a minute. I went through the trouble of buying it. Can't you at least offer me some coffee? And what about a thank you? I did share your portion of the cake as promised.
I don't need anything more from you. Irritated by this behavior, I ended up reprimanding Lily.
It's common sense to at least thank someone, especially when you're asking a favor from your husband's parents. I'll be sure to tell Ethan about this.
Ugh, are you harassing me? That's a bit much, even for me. This is why I can't stand poor people. They never have any spare room in their hearts.
What did you say? Just go home for today, please. I want to eat my cake already.
With that, Lily finally pushed me out of the entrance and closed the door. The sound of the lock turning only added to my irritation. But, having been kicked out, there was no way I could lecture Lily anymore. I headed home, thinking I didn't want to see Lily's face for a while. Following that incident, Lily seemed to have taken a dislike to me. She would still contact me when it suited her, asking for shopping or to clean the room while she was away. When I refused, she would say things like,
"Don't you want to see your grandchild?"
or threaten me, and she would mock me like,
"Poor people get angry so quickly."
"We're not even poor. In fact, we live quite comfortably." Lily probably just wants to boast about being wealthy by deliberately calling me poor. Despite being used by Lily, I wanted to be kind to her because she is Ethan's wife. I've always wanted a daughter and hoped to get along with Ethan's wife when he brought her home. I didn't want to see Ethan, who was always serious and thoughtful, to be sad. If I worsened my relationship with Lily, it would surely trouble Ethan. That was something I wanted to avoid. But as Lily's calls became more frequent, I started to feel worn out. Does Ethan know about this? I suddenly decided to tell Ethan about Lily. Aiming for a time after work on a weekday, I called Ethan. He answered the phone right away.
"Ethan? Is now a good time?"
What's up?" Ethan seemed surprised by the call, as I usually don't phone him out of the blue.
"I need to talk to you about Lily."
"Lily? What happened?" I told Ethan about how Lily has frequently been taking advantage of me.
"I see. Lily tends to speak in a way that can be misunderstood, so there might have been some miscommunication."
"Is that so? Could you tell Lily then? I don't have any hard feelings towards her. I actually want to get along."
"All right, I got it."
Ethan, perhaps busy, quickly ended the call after his response. Being told it was a misunderstanding, I honestly wasn't convinced. But Lily is Ethan's wife. There's no doubt Ethan knows Lily better. Talking to Ethan about Lily made me feel a bit better. I hoped this would somewhat reduce Lily's tendency to use me at her convenience. I couldn't help but wish for that. Contrary to my hopes, Lily started to boss me around even more than before. It seems she resented me for tattling to Ethan. Though I didn't intend to tattle, from Lily's perspective, it's understandable to see it that way. "We're having a barbecue by the nearby river soon. You'll help out, Layla and Benjamin, won't you?"
"A barbecue? Well, I don't mind helping out a bit."
Helping with the barbecue was an unusual request. I agreed, thinking Lily would at least be a bit reserved in front of many people. The weekend came, and I headed to the river as Lily had instructed. Benjamin had other plans, so it was just me. I thought Ethan might come, but he couldn't make it due to working on the weekend.
"Layla, I have friends over today, so please don't do anything strange. And you don't have to greet them or anything."
"Is that so?"
"That's a shame."
For reasons unknown to me, Lily didn't want me greeting her friends. Once the barbecue started, Lily began ordering me around, telling me to grill the meat and pour the beer. There were about a dozen people at the barbecue, and preparing enough meat for everyone was a daunting task. Whenever someone tried to grill the meat, Lily would say,
"No need, that person will grill the meat."
She intervened, stopping anyone else from taking over the grill. It seemed everyone thought I was a housekeeper. As instructed by Lily, I refrained from grilling and focused solely on talking. I happened to overhear Lily's conversation, where she was boasting about having lots of lessons, having a big house with a housekeeper to do the cleaning, and how wealthy she was. Of course, her stories included lies. The bag and watch Lily wore today were from well-known international brands. Everyone praised Lily's bragging with comments like "That's amazing." I would get fed up just listening to such talk. Lily continued to order me around, making me work alone. I thought to myself that I never wanted to do this again, but every year thereafter, Lily hosted the barbecue and gathered her friends by the river. Each time, I was called upon and left feeling exhausted. Finally deciding I didn't want to help this year, I declared to Lily over the phone as the barbecue season approached that I wouldn't be assisting. "You always make me work alone, and it's physically demanding. I'm getting older, and I'll be sitting this year out."
Huh? Why? You don't have the right to refuse. Right? Anyway, I'm not helping this year.
Lily was angry because I refused more forcefully than usual, and she hung up the phone. It felt bad, but if it meant escaping that nightmarish barbecue, then so be it. I was relieved at that moment. For a while after, Lily didn't call me to boss me around. I was relieved during these rare peaceful days. She's probably busy preparing for the barbecue now. Every year, Lily didn't tire of boasting at that barbecue. It was her chance to brag as much as she liked. That's why Ethan never came every year. He must have been advised by Lily not to come. I felt sorry for the friends gathered just to listen to her boast. Freed from the barbecue, I was spending a relaxed time with Benjamin. On the Sunday Lily was supposed to have her barbecue, I decided to make a luxurious meal for a change and went shopping at the supermarket. "Well then, I'll be going."
"Ah, thank you."
Leaving Benjamin at home, I headed out to shop and found myself pondering over what ingredients to buy. I had planned a menu, but seeing the array of food at the grocery store made me consider other options. As I took my time shopping, I noticed my mobile phone vibrating in my pocket. Could it be Benjamin? Holding the shopping basket, I looked at the name displayed on my mobile phone. A chill ran down my spine. It was Lily's name. I hesitated for a moment, but if I didn't answer the phone, I was sure that I would be criticized again later.
"Hello? Ah, finally. You're slow."
I doubted Lily's nerve, calling me only to complain. I'm busy too, after all. But Lily's next words were so shocking, any annoyance I felt disappeared.
"I'm using your yard. We don't have any meat or beer, so can you pick some up?"
My yard? What is she talking about? Weren't they supposed to have their usual barbecue by the riverside today?
"What do you mean all of a sudden? Using our yard, what do you mean? We're having a barbecue. You know, your yard has roses and stuff, making it unnecessarily cute."
I was even more bewildered by Lily's answer. Lily is having a barbecue in my yard this year instead of by the river? And what does she mean, my house? But there are no roses in our yard. My mind was in chaos, trying to understand what was happening.
"What? That's not my house, you know." "What?"
It was then I finally realized Lily had mistaken my house for someone else's. I was appalled. Having a barbecue in someone else's yard by mistake is outrageous. Anyway, I'm coming home now, so you just wait. Although I hadn't fully grasped the situation, I understood that Lily had done something outrageous. I rushed through checkout and sped home. Arriving in front of my house, I was speechless. To clarify, Lily wasn't at my house. Instead, smoke was rising from the yard of Emma's house across the street. Emma's house is almost the same size as ours and looks similar from the outside. The difference is the yard. Our yard is surrounded by a fence and not visible from the outside, whereas Emma's is open, with no fence. And has beautiful roses planted. Anyone could step in if they wished. With no lights on, it seemed Emma was not home. Lily, who had never been to my house before, probably heard about the special features of our house from Ethan. Lily mistook Emma's house for mine and started a barbecue in the garden. I hurriedly parked my car and rushed into Emma's yard.
Lily, what are you doing here? Layla, you're late. What do you mean this isn't your house?
Seeing me suddenly appear, Lily's friends, who had thought I was the usual housekeeper, realized I was Lily's mother-in-law and exchanged glances.
This is Emma's house across the street. My house is over there. It's outrageous to just start a barbecue at someone else's house.
When I confronted her, Lily fell silent for a moment but then defiantly responded.
What's the big deal? I heard Layla's house was big, so I just wanted to show everyone a spacious home. It's terrible to get angry over this. Right, everyone?
Lily sought agreement from her friends, who reluctantly nodded, seemingly unable to oppose her.
It's really your fault for not telling me you lived in such a big house.
Incredibly, Lily tried to blame her mistake on me. It was Lily who had never attempted to visit my house. It was absurd to blame me without caring about her own actions. More pressing was my concern that Lily showed no intention of stopping the barbecue. This could lead to charges of trespassing, and if Emma returned, it would be a serious issue. As I was worried about this, a woman holding a grocery shopping bag entered the yard.
Oh my!
She let out a surprised voice and dropped her shopping bag on the ground. She is a petite woman with half of her hair gray. Of course, it was Emma. I knew her face well, having seen her many times in the neighborhood. Emma, too, seemed stunned as she took in the baffling scene and saw me.
Emma, this is, well...
I tried to explain the situation, but having only just learned of it myself, I struggled to find the right words. Then, Lily quickly interjected.
Layla, this isn't right. You shouldn't be having a barbecue at someone else's house.
Lily pointed at me, blaming me. The cunning Lily was trying to pin it on me. How outrageous. I hurriedly denied it.
What are you talking about? You're the one who started this. Oh, Emma, I'm so sorry. We'll leave right away. I truly apologize.
I repeatedly apologized to Emma. It was a situation serious enough to warrant a police call. Emma didn't say anything to me. Instead, she turned her gaze to Lily. Lily, realizing something as Emma stared at her, began to tremble.
You're Lily, aren't you?
Emma approached Lily. It seemed like the first time Lily had properly looked at Emma's face, and she was frozen. I couldn't keep up with what was happening. How did Emma know Lily? Were they acquainted? Emma, approaching Lily with a calm yet intense demeanor, said,
What do you think you're doing, having a barbecue at someone else's house? It's because Layla really wanted to. Stop lying. Layla wouldn't do such a thing. She's always been kind to me, sharing things and greeting me warmly. There's no way she would do something this nonsensical.
Emma's blunt assertion left Lily at a loss for words.
But everyone said they wanted to have a barbecue in a big garden.
Lily's hasty excuse silenced everyone present. No one was willing to take Lily's side. Believing herself to be liked by her friends, Lily turned pale.
It seems you're to blame for everything. Besides, you ridiculed me terribly at that flower arrangement class the other day.
It must refer to the lessons Emma attends. Could it be that Lily also attends the same lessons? Had they met there? The pieces of the puzzle in my head finally connected.
You laughed at me, calling me an old, poor woman, didn't you? And boasted about being wealthy, loving brand-name goods, attending many lessons besides flower arrangements, and being able to do whatever you want, unlike me. Why bring that up now?
Exposed for her unpleasant character, Lily's face turned red with anger.
Oh? But it's all true. Everyone here must know. You've all been fed up with Lily's endless bragging, haven't you?
Prompted by Emma's question, Lily's friends complained. Exactly. It's always been a hassle. Sick of the bragging. Hearing her friends' complaints.
What?
Lily became even more irritated.
Don't get cocky. You think you're something just because you can arrange flowers a bit. I worked hard too.
So, Lily's irritation stemmed from not being able to match Emma's skill in flower arrangements and resorted to making snide remarks. Such childish behavior made me sigh.
Holding a grudge is unattractive. And all this talk about being wealthy and loving brand-name goods, I know about you. What do you mean, you know?
Emma looked at Lily with a mischievous smile. What was happening? A tense atmosphere seemed to envelop the two.
You're the one who's been getting brand-name gifts from men, right? What?
Everyone present held their breath at Emma's revelation.
What are you talking about? I only buy what I want with the money Ethan earns. He earns a lot, so I have a lot of money to spend freely.
Lily appeared unfazed by Emma's words. However, Emma pulled out her mobile phone from her bag and showed Lily a photo.
Can you still say that after seeing this? Oh.
The photo Emma showed Lily was of Lily arm in arm with a man entering his house. There wasn't just one photo. Several similar photos were included. Finally realizing Lily was cheating, I felt a surge of anger. Lily, maybe it's time you apologize to Layla. You have a husband, Ethan, Layla's son, and yet you're doing this with another man?
This is a misunderstanding. That must be someone who looks like me. I would never betray Ethan.
Lily's desperate excuses sounded hollow to me. Receiving a look from Emma, I stepped in front of Lily. Seeing my angry expression, Lily screamed.
Lily, how could you do this? I can't forgive you for using me all this time. I tolerated it for Ethan's sake, because I thought you loved him. But you've been doing this even though you have Ethan. I can't forgive you cheating, even if I could forgive everything else.
Lily was shaken by my rare outburst of anger.
Please forgive me this time. Please don't tell Ethan.
Lily's plea was almost comical.
What? How convenient for you. I will tell Ethan. I wished you had told him yourself, but no more. I'll tell him everything about you. Don't ever show your face to us again. Now leave.
I unleashed all my energy at Lily. Perhaps realizing she couldn't manipulate me any longer, Lily finally capitulated. I'm sorry. She cried out and left in tears. Lily's friends, who had been silent, one of them said,
Ah, that feels refreshing. Thank you.
They started clapping for Emma and me. Everyone joined in, creating an odd yet relieving atmosphere. It was a strange atmosphere. But Emma and I looked at each other and thanked each other for the effort. Then, we continued the barbecue with Emma's hospitality. By expelling Lily, a common enemy, a sense of camaraderie was born among us. The day ended with us bonding over our mutual disdain for Lily, and the barbecue came to a close. Emma, thank you. And I'm sorry again for the trouble. No, it's not your fault, Layla. Plus, it was fun to liven up with a younger crowd for a change.
Thank you.
I was filled with gratitude and a sense of apology toward the generous Emma. After confronting Lily and clearing the air, I returned home feeling refreshed. That night, I naturally informed Ethan about the day's events. Initially, Ethan was shocked, but as I calmly explained, he began to suspect something was off with Lily recently and eventually came to believe she was cheating. It pained me, but my desire to prevent Ethan, who had lived so earnestly, from being hurt any further prevailed. Following my advice, Ethan successfully filed for divorce and sought alimony from Lily. He was visibly shaken for a while, but time would heal him. I hoped Ethan would quickly return to his normal life. Meanwhile, Lily faced condemnation from her parents for her infidelity and was disowned. Abandoned by her affair partner as just a fling and without a job, Lily was likely struggling with job hunting. It seemed unlikely she'd find success easily, but she deserved to face some hardships and realize how hard Ethan worked every day. Since then, Emma and I hit it off and started attending flower arrangement classes together. Lily had already quit, so we purely enjoyed our lessons. Benjamin was also pleased that I found a new hobby. Though we still had to care for Ethan's emotional well-being, the prospect of a peaceful life without Lily made me feel optimistic about living a brighter, more positive life.